Usually I make follow-up videos because people heavily request them and I feel obligated to do so. Usually it's the case where something monumental has happened that you guys deserve to know about, and I absolutely would look like a dork if I didn't talk about it. Or it ends up being some of you guys spamming my direct messages nonstop with requests to talk about something random that is going on with someone that I've talked about at one point that you guys want an update on. The worst example of this is, of course, every time people mention Trisha Paytas, because every time she does something stupid, I get tagged in tweets asking me to talk about her again. Again, I have said this before and I will say it till I'm blue in the face. Trisha Paytas thrives off drama and thrives off people like me talking about her. She is the same as Onision in that way. So even though my eyes were thoroughly assaulted by that photo of her tushy she posted with toilet paper still remaining on her bottom, I'm not going to talk about it. Even though I was sent screenshots from her Instagram stories showing that she is apparently doing a collab with her literal sister on OnlyFans, something that I shouldn't have to say is weird and gross, I'm not going to talk about it. Trish literally wrote a book about how she wants people to talk about her and she doesn't care why. I say all of this because this video, this follow-up video, it's not one of those videos. It's not thoroughly requested, it's not an obligation, it's not any of that. This video isn't a video because people wanted to see it. No, in fact this video is probably going to be the least requested video I have ever made, because today we are going to be talking about what's going on with Katie, aka the Game Grumps stalker, and how she is full on, full out, now accusing a professional artist who has literally never seen her face in their lives of misappropriating her likeness, despite, once again, showing no actual proof that the man who designed this character even knows about her, knows what she looks like, and has ever seen her face in the history of his life. It's a doozy, so let's get into it. For those of you who don't know who Katie is, I'm going to go ahead and give you a brief synopsis, a brief overview of who she is, because if I went balls deep into this situation, gave you all the context, we would be here for hours and hours. That is not a joke, by the way, because I have so many screenshots saved on my external hard drive that are all 100% necessary in order to tell you guys how big time bonkers this woman is. But if you want the full overview, if you want full context that covers absolutely everything from her DeviantArt comments to her Twitter sprees where she states that I am, quote, a fugly loser, I will remember to link those videos that I've already done on her in the comments down below. Actually, you know what? I will try to remember because I absolutely never remember to do any of that. I'm so sorry. I have the mind of a grapefruit that's been stepped on. It's a hard knock life, as Annie would say in the hit movie Annie. For those of you who don't know, Katie is a woman who grew up and was briefly friends with Aaron Hansen from Game Grumps. She knew him before he was with his longtime girlfriend and future wife Susie Burhow, and in the time they knew each other, he made it clear to her that he had feelings for her. However, by her own admission, she made it clear to him that she wasn't interested in him romantically and was in fact interested in a man she would later go on to marry and then divorce. Despite the fact that she had rejected him outright, they maintained a friendship for a small bit until Aaron had met Susie, at which point, according to Katie, Susie made it a point to have them end the friendship because she didn't want someone who her boyfriend was into just hanging about. We've all had that, we've all known what that's like. Again, seeing as they would have been in their early teens, that makes complete sense to me. I know plenty of people who have done that specifically with me because I tend to try to keep things friendly with my exes. Katie and Aaron fell out because of that, and that's it. That's the end of the story. This video is over because absolutely nothing else of any significance happened on her front, because someone who briefly was friends with someone before they were famous, that's where it should end. That's where the story should lie. Except obviously I'm lying. I may have a lot to talk about and have opinions on virtually nothing, but even I couldn't make 3 videos out of that. That would be ridiculous. Don't be a loser. Come on. You see, a couple years ago, Katie started to make herself known on Twitter and on DeviantArt, specifically in the Game Grumps community, because she would constantly reply to tweets that Susie and Aaron were making, saying things like,
she said, Aaron and I were extremely good friends. There were clear romantic feelings on his side for several years, but I had a boyfriend at the time, and then later married said boyfriend. Aaron ended our friendship when he and Susie started getting serious around mid-2006. In a message Susie sent me in 2010, she admitted taking full responsibility of convincing Aaron that I never cared for him and told me to stop reaching out to him. Parentheses, I have never even communicated with Susie other than that one exchange. It's a bummer that she felt the need to make him cut me out in order for their relationship to thrive. I still really miss him. Still, I'm very happy for their happiness. I think love is a beautiful thing. She goes,
and like,
Aaron and I are not still friends. He took my romantically rejecting him very hard. I sure miss my friend. But there's a silver lining. Had I not turned him down, he and Susie wouldn't be together as they are. Flash, Game Grumps definitely wouldn't exist. So in a weird, abstract butterfly effect sort of way, you're welcome. I'm sorry. But what the fuck?
And this.
Aw, my ex-best friend. It's really nice to see him genuinely happy. I have many memories of him being sad due to unrequited love. See, me rejecting him was a good thing. Winky face. Moral of the story, everything works out in the end.
Her Twitter timeline was quite literally just her talking about how Aaron was missing out on her, how she rejected him outright years earlier, how they weren't friends because she had rejected him, how Game Grumps wouldn't be a thing without her, and of course, how everything Susie and Aaron had ever said about themselves is a complete and utter lie because they never talked about her and this is harassment. Them not talking about her is harassment. That's not a joke. That's not a haha. She literally thinks them ignoring her is somehow harassment and evil and shows that they are narcissists. Which, sure, okay, alright, we'll just not go into why that's crazy. Again, this is just a brief overview and I will try to remember to link the videos I made that go over this in every single detail in the description box down below because I cannot emphasize to you how actually bonkers it is and how weird it ended up getting. I mean, just so you have a little bit of a taste, Katie would also thirst tweet Dan, the Game Grumps co-host, and then ask Aaron to fuck her when he gets a divorce from Susie because apparently in her head they're getting a divorce now. Has that ever been said online? No. Has he ever implied that would happen? Not a bit. As of October 12th, 2020? No. But she's really manifesting that for them, I guess. I made my initial video and talked about the titanium ironclad balls that Katie must have in order to be wildin' out the way she does on Twitter. And after watching the video, she straight up said that she loved it. Like, she responded by saying that the video was great and that she does in fact have massive balls and I was clearly not going out of my way to be malicious or hurtful. She said my video was good, she liked it, and that was that. But of course, in classic Katie fashion, that was not just that. Because it's Katie, the world's on fire, and you guys know I had to make a whole ass second video on this. So obviously she did something else that was a little bit sus. And by something else that was a little bit sus, I mean she continued to tweet at Aaron, telling him that what he did to her, you know, by respecting the fact that she was not into him romantically and moving on with his life without her in it, was akin to the Me Too movement, which, no it's not, never say that again, absolutely no, but then went on to tweet at him to have sex with her multiple times over. Oh, and while she was doing that, this time she was also tweeting about me, and how I'm, quote, a fugly loser, which she literally just stole that from Mean Girls. I don't know what to say. Also, she roasted me once about cleaning my room, which I'm sorry, I don't have to do that because I'm an adult and I don't want to. Should I clean my room? Sure. But do I care about making something that will just be unmade in a couple hours? That is my bed? No, I don't. And that's my opinion on making my bed, in case any of you cared. After the initial video, she made a plethora of tweets about how Aaron, Susie, and I are terrible people, and how I was paid off to make pro-Game Grumps propaganda. I'm not kidding. She said that. I was paid to make pro-Game Grumps propaganda somehow, which not only isn't true, but low-key, I wish it was true. I wish I could get paid to make these videos. That would be a fucking dream, because YouTube straight up does not like my content. So the idea that I do any of this for money is laughable. It's ha 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 ha-able. That's how silly it is. She kept going off on Twitter, so I ended up making a follow-up video talking all about the nonsense she had been saying and going over the fact that I had also been reached out to by someone who stated that they used to work security for a Game Grumps live show. And I was told by that person that they had been briefed about Katie and were told as security for that show to not let her in the venue, which goes over petty internet drama stuff. It goes over that line and makes its way into, oh no, this person actually might be a dangerous entity territory. So me making that video after knowing that, me making this video after knowing that, might be an ill-fated decision. If she ends up killing me, we will know for sure. Check back for more updates on that front. But at that point, I was done. I posted that video in February 2020 and I stopped thinking about her as I do most of my subjects, namely because I didn't think there was any way she could get any more bonkers. There was no way that was happening. I just thought we hit the peak bonkers and everything would be small peanuts comparatively. How does one top you asking your not-so ex-boyfriend's new wife to make an online show with you so you can have money to prove that she's a feminist while asking him, your not-so ex-boyfriend, to divorce the wife that you want to have a show with and fuck you publicly? I don't see how you top that. I just didn't see how you get more bonkers than that. But that's 100% on me. I'm not imaginative enough because boy could she get more bonkers. I was wrong. I'll be the first one to admit it. I was wrong here because not only did she top that, but she made me look like a damn fool. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Shannon, get to the goods. How does one top that? Well, you top that by having not one, not two, not even three, but 4 dedicated Twitter accounts in which you shit talk Box Your Ex On. Rebrand one of those Twitter accounts to be entirely about how a professional and talented artist named Nick Robles, who has never seen you in his life, is using you as his uncredited muse for a male character that doesn't even look like you except for the fact that he has purple hair. Then go on to claim that and spam that under every tweet involving him or Neil Gaiman, to the point where Neil freaking Gaiman himself reaches out to you. And you start a Twitch channel where one of your 3 videos is just 30 minutes with no audio of you just sitting there, and the first video has 20 seconds in the beginning of you not looking at the camera and just straight up zoning out. Oh, and then before I made this video, you go and tweet out of nowhere that Aaron is a pathetic piece of shit, and how dare he? How dare he do what? I don't know, but I guess how dare he? How indeed? He has a lot to answer for, I guess. That's how you top that. That's how this marvelous big brain tops that. In the time that has elapsed since we last spoke about Katie, which by my estimations has been 8 months of none of us talking about her, I have been made aware of the fact that she has 3 other Twitter accounts. Now, when I was making my second video, I was aware of one of these other accounts, but I didn't think much of it, just from the looks of it, because the account was just there to like her other posts and hype her up, seeing as other people would clown on her before for getting no likes. So I didn't mention that in my second video. I was already done recording and I thought nothing of it. Even though I already knew about one of these accounts, I didn't think anything of it until she got called out by Dan from Bastille over some unrelated thing, which, pause button right now. Let's talk about how bonkers this is, because we aren't even going to go over fully that she got called out by Dan from Bastille, but that's something that happened. Like, this lady got called out from the man who made Pompeii and the man who makes dope-ass music. She got called out on Twitter, and we can't talk about it. She got mad at something he tweeted, and he responded pretty much saying that she was wrong and should feel bad, and then she ended up arguing with Bastille fans all night because she called him an industry tool, and then got even more upset when he refused to send her money after that. Like, this woman called him a dickbag, then got called out by him, and then got even angrier at her that he wasn't sending her money for some reason. That's the kind of stuff we don't have time to get into. Like, that's pink bonkers. Come on now. But with that out of the way, since we're not talking about that really, her current active accounts include the Lawn Dead Drops of Violet accounts, which she now just uses to like other tweets, Dizzy Uptha, which she also doesn't use much, Dream Princess Katie, which is active, and Magic and Ruin, which I think is her main one, but I genuinely don't know. It's genuinely hard to tell though, because the Dream Princess Katie one is dedicated to exposing the fact that she thinks, with no proof, that Nick Robles, a man who doesn't know her, has never seen her, and has never interacted with her privately or publicly, because don't worry, your girl fucking checked, has misappropriated her image. So that's what that account's for, and she uses it often. But the Magic and Ruin account is the one where she talks more about herself and tweets things that anger her on the daily, like Aaron Hansen and me, I guess. I guess we can also assume in this video that that's her main account, because she has her promo about me tweet pinned, which we all should read just to look at and smile. Hi, I'm Katie. You may know me as Legendary Frog's red-haired hippie elf chick, which, sorry, I have no idea who that is. I'm sorry. R.I.P. me, I guess. A huge inspiration behind Egoraptor's OC Melissa, or as the muse for Ruin's character design from DC's The Dreaming: Waking Hours. And then her Twitch is linked, because of course, on her account that is dedicated to exposing the fact that Nick Robles, a man who's never met her, is an art thief, or at the very least, stole her image and likeness in order to make a comic book character who doesn't look or act anything like her, besides having purple hair. She posted some hard-hitting, hard evidence that that's the case. Like this image, captioned, "This is not a dream," which clearly shows her next to the character. So that tells you a lot, doesn't it? Okay, let's be real here. This only shows that they have similar hair, kind of, but not really. Is Katie trying to say that every girl, guy, anywhere, at any time, on Pinterest or otherwise, who has purple to blue ombre hair is somehow copying her? A girl who has 56 followers on her main account that doesn't have enough social media presence to copy in the first, second, or third place? I want to say that she isn't saying that, but this is Katie. She definitely is. She thinks any person with this color hair is trying to be her. But that's side by side. Is that our only proof? I hear you say. Is that just it? No, it's not. Even though this is the one she most often quote tweets in response to Neil Gaiman and anything to do with DC Comics. Like, she quote tweets this motherfucker as if it were her job. No. She has more evidence than just that to show that Nick Robles, a talented artist, is in fact trying to steal her identity. And guess what, motherfuckers? It all links back to the Game Grumps, because of course it does. You see, Katie kind of blew this whole investigation wide open when she found this tweet, in which Nick Robles, the artist behind the character she thinks it's based off her but totally isn't, tweeted, "The Explorer's Guide to Wildmont is out now. I've seen some others post their art they did for the book, so I'll join in too. Thank you, Matt Mercer, Kate Irwin, and whomever else had a hand in dropping my name in the right spot. Dream job. Check out the guide." I know what you're thinking. What a super innocuous tweet, right? Shannon, why'd you read out that dumbass tweet that had nothing to do with anything? That has absolutely, positively nothing to do with what was said, and it said nothing about the Game Grumps, Katie, or stealing her image. That totally wasn't stolen in the first, second, or third place. So what the fuck is Katie on about? Saying that this shows a coordinated attack on her. Well, my dudes, I hope you have your shitting pants on because you're about to poop yourself. Because she then shows this tweet, which is just Susie talking on Twitter about how she hates the weather in California because it's not weather, it's just sun. And a man by the name of Matthew Mercer replying, saying simply, "I feel this hard." Now, you might have missed the connection here, which I don't blame you. It went by super quick. But Nick Robles thanked Matt in his tweet about getting a job for a whole ass different project. Matt Mercer knows Nick, and here Matt is responding to a tweet that Susie put out about weather. Therefore, Erin Hansen is clearly behind all of this. That is clearly definitive proof. Case closed. Case freaking closed. I mean, she felt so confident that this was actual evidence that she posted this. This shit really happened. Some random man on the internet stalked me, which, no. Studied me, absolutely not, Katie. Turned me into a character in my favorite comic book series. Again, no, that didn't happen. What the fuck is 2020? Why are predators always cowards? Alright, we found the connection. You seriously can't make this up. The levels of petty, vindictive, crazy. Holy shit. Nick, when your lawyers come, save yourself. They asked you to destroy your career so they could abuse someone over 15 years of rejection. You owe them nothing. Again, just so we have kind of the same mindset, she's saying that over a tweet where this guy is agreeing about the weather and he happens to know someone. It's not a thing. Her evidence is that she has purple hair and he knows someone who at one point responded to a tweet from Susie. That's it. If you've ever responded or sent a tweet or have ever watched Game Grumps at all, good news, you're now a part of the Illuminati and you're a sleeper agent whose only mission is to get Katie. And if you watch this video, I'm sorry that I had to be the one who tell you this, but you're awakened and now you have to do, I don't know what she's thinking. I have to once again comment on the tremendous misguided balls that this woman has, because literally no lawyer at any point is ever going to touch this case. No human person would look at this and say, yes, there's a legal case here. We should get lawyers involved, even though she's tweeted it multiple times, because there's quite literally none. This is absolute garbage. I need to make this clear to Katie and to anyone watching this right now. In order for you to sue Nick, in order for you to sue anyone or have a case about misappropriation of one's likeness, you would need to prove that you are not able to come up with this character design without knowing the person who's suing. This design has to be so specific to you that no one else could look like this. You couldn't imagine this person up. And seeing as the only defining feature that is even slightly remotely the same is the hair, it's not going to happen. You could go on Pinterest and find so many people with this hair. It's not unique. Maybe if you had an iconic face tattoo or always wore what this character is wearing and had the hair and everything else, like maybe then, but definitely not just this. You would have to have proof that Nick has seen you before, proof that his eyes have eaten your face image with their tiny little eyeball mouths. I don't know why I said that, which you do not have. You would need to have proof that he for sure based this off of you wholeheartedly, which you don't have, and you would need to prove that there is an entire network of people who are out to get you, which you don't have, because they've never tweeted at you and they've never even acknowledged you. If she had a recording of Nick maybe liking the picture she put up, or had screenshots of him using her image on a mood board for the character, or like behind the scenes stuff, then maybe yes. Maybe a case could be brought forward. But even then, with all that evidence, it's a still big old maybe, because so much has been changed if he even did base it off her to the final draft. And most lawyers will look at this and say, no, there's not a case here. And just to be clear, I don't think anyone at any point in this is working against Katie at all. Nobody's working against her. Even I, a person who talked about her multiple times on my channel, am not going out of my way to quote get her, seeing as I've spent the last 8 months doing other things and genuinely trying to thrive. Have I been full-time thriving? No, I can't be happy all the time. But Katie, if you're watching, I don't hate you. I'm not trying to get you. Hell, when someone linked me a tweet of yours saying that you were scared of being kicked out of your housing situation because of COVID, I tweeted your PayPal link out and donated $100 in order to make sure you were okay. I don't want to see you fail, but I also can't pretend like this is a court case and this isn't peak bonkers. Also, just fun fact, please don't use Black Lives Matter or Etika's name to talk about the Game Grumps being, quote, abusers and not acknowledging you. It's really gross, and it's inappropriate for you to be using the lives and deaths of black people to try to smear a guy who you didn't want to date years ago. Stop it. Knock it off. It's fucked up. Anyway, there's so much more involving Katie, so much more that it honestly, I can't deep dive it. I really can't. I would love to, but just, it's so bonkers that even my tiny brain can't handle it. So I'm gonna end it here today. I know last time I talked about her, I said it would be the last time, but I don't know. I don't know where she's going to take it from here. I don't think it can get any more bonkers, but if it does, I will let you know. With that being said, if you guys can, give a like, leave me a comment letting me know what you guys think, and with that, I'm out. Later.